I'm Georgia and this is The Sound of Georgia. Today I'm going to be telling you the story of when I didn't like The Sound of Music. That's right, I haven't always loved The Sound of Music the way I do now. There was a long period in my life where I didn't want anything to do with it. I first saw The Sound of Music when I was 2 years old. And even though I don't have any memory of it, I know I was 2 because I asked for a guitar for my 3rd birthday. I got my aunt's old toy ukulele, but I asked for it because I wanted to be like Maria. And I loved it so much, especially the wedding. My grandmother made me a special wedding dress costume, and I used to walk up and down the hallway again and again and again as I forced her and my mother to sing Maria, just like in the movie. But it didn't last. I think it was probably when I was around 7? I'm not exactly sure, but it would have been around then. I just stopped watching it. And it wasn't really just I stopped watching it as much and that kind of grew into not watching it at all. That may very well have been how it started. But they got to a point where I just didn't want to watch it, where I actively avoided watching it. And that lasted quite a long time. I can't really talk about the specifics of it anymore because, well, I really don't remember that much. But the video is not over just yet. Things changed when I was in year 8, so this would have been about 7 or 8 years after I stopped watching it, if we're going by that I stopped watching it when I was 7-ish. We had a stage musical unit in my music class that year, so we were looking at and talking about several stage musicals. I remember we watched a clip of the Jesus Christ Superstar movie, and I think we watched a clip from the Phantom movie. I think that's right. But it just kept bringing Sound of Music back into my mind. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And then one day I just went, okay, I've been thinking about this so much, I want to watch it again. So I did, and I fell in love with it all over again. Up until that point we only had it on VHS. So I bought it on DVD so I could watch it in my room rather than having to worry about hijacking the lounge room. And I watched it again and again and again. That musical theatre unit we actually had to do a solo performance for our assignment, and I sang the opening song. And looking back, I think I honestly am grateful that this happened. I don't know if I would love Sound of Music the way I do now if I hadn't had that big break from it. I might not have the tattoo if I'd been watching it continually for the past 22 years with no break. So in a way I'm glad that happened, but it got bigger. So I started watching it again when I was 14-ish in year 9, and in year 12 along came fanfic. I started reading and writing fanfic early-ish 2013, and it changed everything about The Sound of Music all over again. And honestly, for the past 6 years, it has been my favourite thing about The Sound of Music as a whole. With fanfic, the movie became more than a movie, it became a world. The characters became real in a way they hadn't before, they became my imaginary friends, and it became so much more than just that 3 hours of film. And that's not even mentioning all the online friends I've made as a result of finding that community. Sadly though, that community as it was when I started writing is now all but dead. The vast majority of the members who were really writing a lot back then, back in the golden days of Sound of Music fanfiction I guess, have all stopped writing. But not just that, there's no more interaction between any of us. The forum site is dead, the Facebook group is dormant, and it's not the same. So for the last little while, arguably my favourite thing about Sound of Music is dead. That might just very well be why I'm gravitating more to Hamilton fanfiction right now. Hamilton's coming to Australia in 2021 and I haven't been this excited since I found out I was going to meet Julie. Sorry, I had a fangirl moment. Where were we? Ah, yes. The next thing I want to talk about is this little experiment that I've started. I made a video last year talking about all the times I watch Sound of Music, because up until last year I watched it once a month without fail. It wasn't immediately after I fell back in love with it in 2009, but it has been for the past several years. But this year it's almost June and I have only watched it once. I watched it back in January and I haven't watched it since. This year I'm trying to plan a lot less in general. not just with Sound of Music, but with a lot of things. I'm trying to do things more because I want to do them, rather than because I planned to do them. This is a little hard for me to explain, but I'm gonna do my best. Even with the fanfiction being arguably my favourite part, I love watching the movie, and I always will. It will forever be my favourite movie in the entire world. But since I started on my once a month viewing routine, I have planned it all so meticulously. And a lot of the time I wake up on the day I've planned to watch it and go, okay, I'm watching it today, that was my plan. It's been much more of that than a I really want to watch Sound of Music today situation. Despite that, as soon as I click play, I forget about all that and realise just how much I love watching the film. But looking back, I also don't think it has the same warm feeling as it would have given me when I watched it, well, for the first time after the hiatus. Now, I don't know if that specifically is true, but it certainly doesn't give me the warm fuzzy feelings that it used to and that I'd really like it to. So this year I'm doing a little bit of an experiment, not watching it every month. As I said, I've only watched it once and we're now almost halfway through the year. Oh god, are we almost halfway through the year? Oh well, that means less time to wait before Hamilton comes. I know I'll be watching it at least one more time before the year ends, but I'm obviously watching it a lot less. And that's in the hope that when I watch it again, I'll get some of the warm fuzzy feelings I haven't had in a long time. I really need that given the fandom is so dead. But honestly, regardless of what happens with this experiment, I think from now on I won't be watching it every month. Just a couple of times a year, and fanfiction will sustain me for the rest of the time. Also, this experiment has nothing to do with my obsessive love for Hamilton, because it only started this year. And my obsession with Hamilton started almost 2 years ago. And that's everything I've got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments, has anything like this ever happened to you? Also, how many times a year do you watch your favourite movie? Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my video next week. So long, farewell!